we have a special thing planned where we're gonna watch her drive because I'm not feeling very good, so we're just gonna watch her truck for a little bit.
And I'm doing the new state.
No convoy today. Yeah, we're doing. What state is it?
Missouri.
Missouri. Good old Missouri. I've never been in Missouri actually.
Whoops. I haven't either. Let's see.
So you can choose whatever mission you want. This is the first time we've played this game that I haven't been with you. I'm here in spirit.
That's right. I'm trying to get one that keeps me in Missouri. There we go. We'll haul some cars. Because I want the reward. I want the paint job. And then if the whole community does all of the Missouri cities, then we get like a little mule for the dash. So
cool.
It has been a while.
I know. Is that why you're honking? No pressure. All eyes are on you today.
I know. I'm never on screen whenever we play Trucker.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I got to get rid of that. I accidentally pressed a button here. There we go. Perfect. I can drive better than this, I promise.
Watch out, everyone. Female driver. The hell's going on here?
I'm trying to turn my... Okay, I was trying to turn my windshield wipers on.
I think you pressed every button but the right one.
Well, okay, so for some reason, every time they do an update, like some of the controls change. Like I had at one point, like up on the D-pad program for windshield wipers, and now it's not. Now I guess it changes camera angles.
Oh man, your car's freaking loud too. I'm gonna have to go there and post-edit, and fix your damn engine noise. This Peterbilt's loud as shit.
It is pretty loud, yeah.
That's a pretty bridge.
Yes, our first time in Missouri. That is pretty.
Yeah, it came out just a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Today's April 26th.
And it came out April 3rd.
Oh, wow. It came out quite a while ago then. Well, a lot's happened this month. It's been a terrible month.
Yeah. Just typical April. I mean, taxes were due. Stock market did crappy.
Tariffs.
Home repairs. Tariffs.
Stock market crash.
Yeah. But that's okay, because May is going to be better.
It better be.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 months for me has been pretty bad. I had a good January, a good February, I had a bad March, I had a bad April. The April wasn't as bad as March, though. I'm recovering. I've had a lot of mental issues.
But getting better.
I suffer from anxiety. And sometimes there doesn't need to be a reason. Just wake up and damn. It feels like you're about to go to Normandy, but you're not going to Normandy and you're just going to drive to work or something. It's like, why am I even feeling this way?
Right. But the good thing is a lot more people talk about mental health out in the open than they used to. Like when we were growing up, I had like never heard of anybody say they had anxiety or depression or anything like that. Like nobody talked about it. I'm sure they did have it, but nobody talked about it.
It's still kind of taboo with guys.
I guess so, but I think the culture is changing and it's becoming more accepted and people are more open to talk about it than they used to be.
Yeah. Mental health is important.
It is.
And a lot of guys probably just,
Whoops.
drink booze or whatever and numb their senses.
Mm-hmm. Self-medicate.
Which I'm known to do that from time to time.
Wait.
Alcohol is a depressant, so it really lowers your nerves from freaking out as bad. But you wake up the next day, you feel 10 times worse.
Doesn't make the problems go away.
No, it just masks it for a little bit, and you wake up, and all your problems just come rushing back again. I think you passed it.
I think I have to back up to it, right? Wait, hold on.
Good third-person view. You're on the wrong end.
I am totally on the wrong end. Just kidding. Well, I was wondering why they were making me back up when there's all these cars in the parking lot.
Don't worry, my wife is not a professional driver in real life. Don't worry.
I do not drive truck for a living. No, I just really love this game.
Well, we can tell. It's okay. We're going to regret this decision to watch you stream today. That's okay. We love you.
Sometimes you don't have to be good at things to like it.
That's the motto of my life.
Jeez.
What's one thing that you're just not good at, but you still enjoying doing it anyways? For me, it's sex. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Next question.
Completely inappropriate.
You think kids are watching this? I doubt it.
That's true. You just never know who's watching.
You can do it, babe.
Oh, I can do it. I know I can.
We have a running bet right now to see if you can do this without getting 10% more damage.
Oh my gosh. I can do it.
Okay, I'll make it appropriate. And gaming. What is a game you really suck at, but you still enjoy playing it anyways?
Oh, okay. Besides this one. I do really love this game, and I'm not the best at it, but
That's okay.
But I still love it.
You're doing fine. Just a game. It's a casual game. It's not a big deal.
That's true.
For me, it's probably Mario 64. I suck at it really bad, but I still enjoy playing it.
Right? I am not at all good at Mario Kart 1 through 8, but I do enjoy them.
Well, the thing is, when I played Mario Kart, my whole life I've never really had anybody I played with. Outside of like the 90s when I played the very first version with my friends on the 64. Besides that, I never really played with anybody. Mm-hmm. Outside of going to Ryan's house and doing the Super Nintendo. That's how old I am. I used to go to my friend's house, sit in our Nintendo chairs, and play Super Mario Kart and Super Nintendo with Ryan.
That's awesome.
I haven't talked to him in years. I need to talk to Ryan again. I feel bad. Anyways, I didn't realize how bad I suck at that game until I played with like our friends in Dallas.
Oh, they
And
were really good.
They completely destroyed me. I was like, God, dude, you guys are like in a different league.
Yes.
I'm like in Pee Wee League over here, and you guys are like Major League. And I'm like, I just kind of sat there and went, you guys play way too much Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I dabble in it. And I tried playing it online on the Switch version, Deluxe. Oh my God, dude. I was getting my butt whooped.
I also occasionally enjoy shooters like we used to really enjoy like Modern Warfare online, and oh my gosh, I was so bad. I would have like 4 kills and 20 deaths, but I still enjoyed it.
Well, see, that's okay because people enjoy people like you because they get more kills off of you, so they like you. They like you around.
Do you consider yourself good at shooters?
I think I was pretty good at Call of Duty back. I don't play it anymore, but I was pretty good at it. I remember having a lot of kill streaks.
Yeah, you were.
I was usually on top ranked almost every time. I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying I was pretty good at it.
You were.
Because I did strategy, and I was one of those assholes that would, like, usually what happens is people revenge kill. They get so mad at you for killing them, they look for you again. So what I do is I'll hide in a different spot every time, expecting him to come back, and they always do. They look for that. They look for
okay.
that corner where I was, and guess what? I'm on the opposite corner, and I pop them in the head. And I go to the opposite corner from that, and they come looking for me, and I pop them in the head.
Oh my gosh.
Over and over. People are really
People are
dumb.
predictable then.
Very predictable. Yeah. That was my strategy. I always did shit like that.
I remember when PUBG first came out, you were like the last one standing that one time.
Oh, dude, I literally had a
out of 100 people, right?
I was so shaky I couldn't hold the controller straight.
That was so exciting, though. I was like, oh my gosh, look at you.
But the good news is I think the other guy was just as nervous as me because we were both just missing wild. And I somehow got a shot in, and I got him, and I won the round. I was so excited for myself. I retired from that. I never played again.
You didn't. You never played again. You're like, oh, well, I beat this game now.
I went in there. I went into the bedroom. I said, "This is like the house before our last house."
2 houses ago. Yeah.
I was like, "Honey, I can't play that game anymore." Like, it was pretty fun until you get to the very end,
Yeah.
and I was so nervous. I don't know why that game had that effect on me. Rarely does a game have that effect on you.
Yeah.
I got a little bit stressed out when I played Resident Evil 2 Remake when I first saw X again,
Oh, yeah.
and I didn't know at all.
Maybe he was going to be in scenario A.
That, and I didn't know how he follows you everywhere now, which is really cool.
Even into the main lobby.
Only the save rooms, you're safe. Which I kind of wish someone would make a mod where he'd go in the safe rooms too.
Ooh.
That'd be cool. And the sad thing though is when Nemesis was remade, I didn't like it as much as 2. I thought Nemesis was worse than Mr. X.
Uh-huh. It was fun to watch you play. I've never played the Resident Evil 3 remake. I've just watched you play. And it was fun to watch, but I get what you mean of how Nemesis wasn't quite as cool as Mr. X. Mr. X was really, really cool. How come every time a new state is released and we go to play, it's nighttime?
Every time.
Every time. Like, I want to see more of Missouri, but it's nighttime.
Yeah, I need like a mod or something where it'll always say daytime.
Yeah, but I bet if you did that, you wouldn't be able to do the external contracts with World of Trucks.
That's true.
And I got to get my paint job and my mule.
It looks like it's 11 o'clock now, so you'll be driving the whole night.
No, it says 3:43 a.m.
Well, remember, since you're playing single player, you can probably stop at a truck stop and actually rest and advance the time.
You know, I've never done that in this game.
You have to have sleep simulation turned on, and then you have to do it.
Right.
But if you have it turned off, which you and I do, you don't have to. But it advances the time. So if you want to, next time you see a truck stop, just stop and it'll advance. It'll be sunlight. But since you and I always do convoy, I didn't even think about that until now.
No, me neither. This is like one of the very, very few times I've ever played without you.
Well, you should play a little bit sometimes on your own. That way you get some money, because I'm way ahead of you.
Oh, yeah. Like, look at me. I have 198,000.
In both games.
You have like...
I'm a millionaire.
Millions.
I have a fleet of trucks, almost in every state, every country on the Euro side. Over 100 trucks each game. The money's like no longer an object. You get to the point in this game where it's not a very good business simulation. It's almost impossible to lose money in this game.
Tell that to our daughter. She's gone bankrupt many times and had to start over.
As long as you're not wrecking every 10 seconds. Because you get a loan, you hire a truck driver, buy a truck, pay off a loan, get another loan, hire another truck driver, and just keep doing that.
And your drivers make you money. Yeah, a second ago, one of my drivers just made me $13,000, so that helped.
I wish that could happen in real life. Pay off my car.
Right?
My lease is up next month, and I owe $12,000.
Which is not bad for a car that only has 5,000 miles on it, because you never go anywhere.
Yeah, I drive to work and back.
That's it.
And the lease is, and yeah, good luck getting a used car for $12,000.
With 5,000
miles. With under 10,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's been in the garage its whole life.
Its whole life. It's
Cars
true.
have lives.
Let's see.
Press enter or A or whatever. Here's the controller. Yeah, there you go. Now it's 9.
Yay!
I do wish I was playing too, but I have COVID or something. Since we call COVID everything now, like I got a cold, it's COVID. You know, COVID just means cold now.
Yeah.
I've never tested for it. I've just always had symptoms that kind of match it.
I had it last week, and you've got it this week, and bless you.
Oh, sorry. It'd be not a good time for me to drive right now because I have a steering wheel and pedals and shit, and I just didn't feel like getting it all out.
That's okay.
And I refuse.
You can just hang out with me.
Yeah, I refuse to use a controller or keyboard. It just does not feel right to me.
I prefer to use the PS5 controller. I like it a lot.
I'm used to playing on VR/steering wheel, and that was the optimum way to play, but unfortunately, I haven't done that in a while. And plus, it's really laggy. Even with a beefy computer, it's laggy, and it kind of makes you sick.
One of the things I saw that they put in the Missouri was, so Missouri has like an underground city. It has like tons of warehouses and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I saw
and they put it in this game because truckers go there in real life like every day. And so I hope we get to see that at some point. Ooh, Rala discovered.
Yeah, a lot of companies keep their stuff down there because of no humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because, on the surface, Missouri is probably extremely humid.
Oh, yeah. I remember last summer we were watching a Rangers game and they were playing the Cardinals in St. Louis. And I did not know that it could be so humid that sweat could drip off of your ball cap, but it was happening. Like our pitcher had sweat dripping off of his hat. It was so gross.
I felt so bad for those guys.
I did too. It's like, ew.
That had to been awful. Yeah.
Oh, look at that bridge. That's pretty. I love bridges.
Yeah, trucking in the American version is very casual compared to the European version.
Oh my gosh, yes. I can't tell you how many times in the European version that my truck just falls over sideways. I'm like, help, I've fallen over and I can't get up.
Yeah, the cities there weren't built for
truckers.
Cars.
Yeah. They're built for bicycles and horses.
Exactly.
Very, very narrow. And even though the semis are smaller there than they are in America, it is still like a lot to get used to. Like I haven't tipped over in about a year, but I mean, you have to adjust to how you drive in Euro Trucker compared to American.
I mean, think about it. Most of America was pretty much modern during the revolution of automobiles. Most of our country is built with cars in mind.
Mm-hmm. So 40 days from today until we go to Vegas. You excited?
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I always get a little nervous before I travel, but other than that, I'll be fine. That's why God made Xanax.
That's right. I like how you put that. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. We're going to spend 1 day on the Strip and 3 days downtown because we love Fremont. We're going to go see Coldplay, and they've been my favorite band since 2005 when I first heard them. Like, I first started dating you, and then you sent me Green Eyes off of A Rush to Blood to the Head, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this band is going to change my life. And I am so excited. They've been in South Korea all week, and they've been posting videos on X and YouTube, and I cannot wait. It's so awesome. It's like an experience to go to a Coldplay concert. Like, they have confetti flying in the air and fireworks and like rainbow dust particles, and they give you light up bracelets when you go in, and during some songs the bracelets will light up, like everyone in the stadium will light up at the same color at the same time, and it's just
cool.
It's so cool. And they're huge about the environment. So like every concert they go to, they measure how many bracelets were returned at the end to recycle, to sanitize it for the next time, And so far, South Korea is winning. All week, they had a 99% return rate on the light up bracelets, which is crazy.
Well, in Vegas, everyone's drunk, so they might not even remember.
I know, right? In Vegas, I don't know if they're going to hit that 99% return rate on the bracelets.
But it's also like people want to keep a souvenir.
I know. So, yeah, because I mean, man, I really want a souvenir. So I might buy something. I'm sure they're going to have merch for sale so that I can feel good about returning the bracelet. I still want something to go home with.
Yeah. I'm sure it's what a lot of people are doing, just keeping it as a souvenir.
Yeah.
Or just they're too drunk or forget about it.
Right.
No, they're like fuck recycling, The thing is, though, is like a lot of recycling is done in China. Mm-hmm. And based on my research, might not be very thorough, but most of these cities, they try to recycle, but it's just not feasible. It's not economically viable. And if China's not taking it, then it's just not even worth it.
Yeah, and we live in rural America, and I remember 7 or 8 years ago, back when I was teaching fourth grade science, the state requires you to teach a unit about recycling. It's reduce, reuse, and recycle. And we talk all about how if you have plastic water bottles and all this stuff, you should put it in the recycling bin. And that's an awkward moment when all your students are like, cool, let's do that. Where's our recycling bin? And we're like,
we don't have one.
Well, we don't have one. And the closest recycling center is probably 300 miles away.
Yeah.
So it's very not feasible in rural America.
It's not feasible in most majority of Earth.
I think there's some, well, at least from movies and TV shows, I think there's some big cities on the West Coast, maybe Oregon, Washington, California, where they give you 2 separate dumpsters for your house, one for trash and one for recycling, and maybe that gets shipped off.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I know it's a huge problem, though.
Yeah. I know the Great Pacific Garbage Heap is now 2 separate entities, and it's fixing to merge, and it's the size of Texas. It's huge. So it really is a big problem. It's just not much we can do about it here.
It's true.
This has been a nice, pleasant drive. I like Missouri.
So here's a lowdown or a rundown on the problems with recycling. It's kind of a scam economically. Most plastics aren't recyclable. Only a small fraction, like PET bottles, can actually be melted down and reused. Things like plastic bags, wrappers, mixed plastics, basically landfill material. You can't recycle it.
Oh.
It's stupid expensive. Cleaning, sorting, processing plastics costs way more than just making fresh new plastic from oil. Okay. Virgin plastic is cheap as hell because most of mass production and oil subsidies. Recycling, labor, equipment, contamination issues, it stacks up fast. Contamination kills all profits. If a batch of recyclable plastic has food residue or the wrong type mixed in, it often gets thrown out entirely.
Dang.
So it's costly to clean that companies would rather ditch it. And the market's collapsed. China used to buy mountains of our recyclable junk. But in 18, they basically said no thanks.
No thanks.
And overnight, recycling economically in the US and Europe was completely wrecked.
Wow.
Now a ton of plastics either burn or rot in local landfills. And there's greenwashing. Companies push recycling to make people feel less guilty about plastic, but the actual recycling rates for plastic, it's like 5 to 9% globally.
Dang.
In other words, it's a big fat fucking joke. Recycling is to make people feel better about themselves. Kind of like the TSA at the airport. It's the illusion of safety.
That is not true. I'm glad. Thank you, TSA. I love you, TSA.
Remember that when that guy got a gun on the plane on accident?
Yeah, okay, one guy, but
I'm just saying,
I feel safe.
It's the illusion
knowing that the
of
guy
safety.
next to me does not have a gun or a bomb in his shoe. Thank you very much.
The bottom line is plastic recycling is a money-losing, feel-good lie, not a real sustainable solution.
Okay, what about cardboard recycling? I bet it's better.
Let's see. And I already knew most of this. I didn't know how to put it in words. I knew the whole Chinese shit really, it was bad.
I had
It's
no
bad.
idea. I'd never heard about the China thing.
Now, cardboard's way better. It's actually one of the few recycling systems that actually make sense.
Good.
A high recovery rate, around 70 to 80% of all cardboard actually does get recycled. Way higher than plastic. Plastic is a huge problem.
Mm-hmm.
Easier to process. Cardboard doesn't need crazy cleaning or chemical treatment. You shred it, mix it with water, make pulp, and press it into new cardboard. It's simple, cheap, and it's profitable too.
Nice.
Recycling cardboard usually costs less than making new cardboard from scratch.
That's true.
Mills want recycled pulp because it saves them money and resources. And there's low contamination risk. Unless it's soaked in grease like pizza boxes.
Yeah.
Most cardboard stays clean enough to reuse easily. Even pizza boxes can sometimes be partially recycled now.
I actually knew most of that about cardboard because back when I taught that unit in 4th grade, I used to show my kids an episode of Reading Rainbow where where Geordi from Star Trek goes to a cardboard recycling facility and shows it all being like they added water and they make it into the pulp and shows how it's recycled and everything. And it's really neat. It's a neat episode.
It is. So really, the solution for plastics is just don't use it.
Don't use it, right? Yeah, but if you've ever had a drink with a paper straw, it is disgusting.
But you get used to it.
I'd rather just not have a straw.
All right, here's a scenario where if we ditched plastic completely, like snapped our fingers and it disappeared, life would instantly get way more expensive, way slower, and way less convenient. That's why we'll never get rid of it. Food would spoil way faster. Shipping would get way more expensive. Plastic bubble wrap, stretch wrap, cheap pallet packaging, all gone. Shipping fragile goods would cost way more. Medical industry would be hit hard. Syringes, IV bags, gloves, tubing, all plastic. Without plastic, hospitals would scramble for old school metal glass alternatives that are way more expensive and not as safe.
Dang.
Consumer goods would vanish or get wildly more expensive. So it's one of those like, damn if you do and damn if you don't. You can't recycle this shit. And you can't live without it. It's a cancer in society and we can't get rid of it. But the long term, though, you have cleaner oceans, less toxic waste, more durable goods, but way more expensive living under unless new materials step in.
Right.
So it's like the devil. We made a deal with the devil and we can't get rid of it. We're too deep in now. Society relies on plastic. But you could ditch certain types of plastics, not everything. Like we could ditch plastics in non-essential uses. Like crap packaging, like fast food containers and stupid party balloons.
Right.
You know, that kind of shit.
That would help.
But the bottom line is corporations just won't stop using it unless they're forced to.
Yeah.
Because plastic is dirt
Cheaper.
cheap. It's dirt cheap. I know like a lot of like California and stuff has got rid of plastic straws, which is cool, but it's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Did they make a law?
Trump repealed that law.
You can repeal a state law?
I heard he did something about the paper straw thing, because our daughter was telling us about, like, doesn't he have more important things to worry about than what type of straws people are using?
Well, I get it. I mean, we're trying to save the earth here, but at the same time, it's like, you saw the stats I gave you. I don't know what you do.
Right?
But basically, changing a plastic straw to paper is basically a joke.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, it's a feel-good move. It's not a real solution. So I can see why you repeal it because it doesn't really help.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fraction of the problem, you know? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's break it down so people don't say I'm just being political. Okay, I'm not being political. Let's be real here. Plastic straws, less than 0.03% of total ocean plastic waste. Ooh. It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Fishing nets and industrial waste make up the majority. Over 46% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is old fishing gear.
Dang.
That's legit.
That's significant. Yeah.
Single-use plastic packaging, bottles, bags, wrappers, is way bigger by weight and volume. Mm-hmm. And I've always thought that. I was like, plastic straws, really? Like, that's a problem?
That's the stand you're going to make?
that seems to me like that was the easiest way to make a feel-good solution, but it wasn't really a solution.
Yeah.
Swapping out straws makes people feel better without doing anything meaningful about the real waste resources.
Right.
It's corporate greenwashing. Look, we're saving the planet. We're shipping 10 billion pounds of shrink-wrap garbage every month. Yeah, while doing that. Let's see, was it a law? I thought it was like a Californian thing. I didn't think it was federal.
I have no idea. Maybe you could give us some more information.
In a lot of places, plastic straw bans actually became law, mostly became between 18 and 21. California did pass it. Sit-down restaurants couldn't automatically hand out plastic straws unless you specifically asked. So it's a stupid law to begin with.
Wow, that is a stupid law.
So they still have them.
But only if you ask for it.
Fines if they kept giving them out by default, though. That's
wow.
That's stupid. Seattle banned plastic straws outright in 18. First major U.S. city to fully do it, and of course it's Seattle. Doesn't surprise me. New York City, D.C., and parts of Florida. Some full bans, some asked first rules. The European Union went even bigger, of course. In 21, the EU banned single-use plastic items, including straws, plates, and cotton swabs across all member countries.
Wow.
What's funny, though, is the actual environmental impact of these straw bans is almost nothing statistically. But politically, it became a symbol. We're doing something.
Right.
Even if it barely scratched the surface. Meanwhile, plastic bottle companies, industrial plastic users, and fishing fleets kept cranking out way worse plastic waste with no real limits. So the real problem was not addressed.
Right.
It's a feel-good policy. I wonder if they still do it. I know in Texas we don't.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I've had paper straws before. It didn't bother me.
Oh, it bothered me.
I don't care.
It tastes gross. It starts melting. And
the local laws still exist. There is no full U.S. federal ban. City by city, state by state.
Okay.
Most plastic straw bans had exemptions for people with disabilities who need flexible plastic straws. Paper ones can collapse or even and aren't safe for everyone. So the alternative is not good. I guess you can get like one of those like lead or metal straws, but then everything tastes like metal.
Yes, I hate metal straws.
In the EU, which is basically, I don't want to talk shit about EU, but they're kind of fascist in a way.
Yeah.
In Europe, like we will do, they have like I don't know, it's maybe fascism is not the right word, but
Big Brother.
a lot of Big Brother, yeah. In Europe, plastic straws were actually outlawed completely across the entire EU in 21. So in California, in certain cities, not all of California, no auto plastic straws at restaurants. Seattle, full ban. New York City, Major restrictions, some bans. Entire USA, no ban. EU, full outlaw of plastic straws and other disposables. Check if it has actually helped.
Do you want me to take another load?
Sure, just a short one. This will be our plastic stream. Everyone loves plastics. I'm researching if it actually has an impact positively in EU or if it's just a drop in the bucket. There has been some notable environmental improvements, particularly in reducing marine pollution. But the thing is, EU and America does a pretty damn good job, but Asia doesn't.
Right.
Most of the, I think like over 80% of the garbage patch is because of Asia. Mm-hmm. And even if EU patches all their laws and America does the same thing, it doesn't really fix the problem.
Right.
The ban targets the top 10 plastic items commonly found in the European beaches, which previously was about 43% of marine litter. That's pretty bad. Impact assessment estimated that the direct would reduce annual CO2 emissions by 3.4 million tons by 2030. But just wait until the elites find out that we are the things that need to be reduced in carbon.
Oh. That's so dark.
Increasing recycling capacity. The EU has enhanced its plastic recycling infrastructure with capacity increasing by over 13%. Major companies, including Amazon, have adjusted their packaging practices in Europe, replacing plastic materials with paper and cardboard alternatives. While the ban has led to environmental benefits, its overall impact on total plastic waste is modest. Studies suggest that such bans alone may reduce plastic waste by only 2 to 6%. It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Experts emphasize that to achieve substantial reductions in plastic pollution, the EU must implement broader strategies, including extending producer responsibility schemes and incentives for reusable alternatives. But there really isn't an alternative. We went over that a second ago. It's cheap.
Right.
If you get rid of plastic, the society as we know it would stop functioning.
It looks very nice.
Looks good.
I see that. Very nice.
Good. I don't know. I don't. I think it's a drop in the bucket. Like I said, I mean, it's every bit helps, I guess, but I guess I don't have the right mindset for that kind of stuff. I mean, I always feel guilty when we go through so much plastic waste.
I mean,
we all feel guilty.
I try my best to always get paper at the grocery store instead of plastic because I know that plastic sack is never going away. But no. I just don't want to give up my straws. Like
That's a good analogy. It's like banning candy bars, but you leave Coca-Cola dumping truckloads of syrup into rivers.
Right.
It helps, but it's not enough to matter.
Yeah.
The real problem is industrial plastic streams.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if grocery bags.
If that really makes a difference, if everybody would switch to paper. Or those reusable bags. We have one of those.
Short answer, sort of. But not as much as people think. I've told you about this before. I had the argument in the grocery store, and I went way over their head.
Yes.
They're biodegradable, They break down naturally in landfills and oceans, unlike plastic that lasts centuries. But paper bags are way heavier and take more energy to produce. That's what I was trying to argue at the grocery store.
Right.
Making paper bags uses more water, more fuel, and creates more CO2 emissions. It's actually worse for the earth when you think about just making it. The same way for EV vehicles.
Well, it's the same way for wind farms.
That too. And because the wind turbines only last like a decade or less.
And it takes a lot to make one.
And they put them in landfills.
Right.
Our country's full of landfills with wind turbines. And they're not very efficient. A study from Denmark showed you'd have to reuse a paper bag 43 times to match the carbon footprint of one thin plastic grocery bag. That's bad.
That is bad.
That's really bad. 43 times worse. So if you're getting the paper bags because you think you're saving the environment, you're really not. So just keep that in mind.
I also prefer them because I can carry 2 of those and it's perfect weight. I hate stacking up on the plastic sacks and having like 10 on each arm. It hurts and it's annoying.
You don't have to do that. I do that. And it's fine. It just saves me a trip. Paper bags rip easily. They can't carry when wet or heavy stuff. But plastic bags are a disaster if not contained. Even if plastic bags are cheaper and lighter, they blow into rivers, oceans, trees, farmland, which is a big problem around here. Mm-hmm. It's very windy where we live in Texas.
Extremely
There's
windy.
There's paper bags in my trees.
There was a plastic sack in our tree for like 3 months.
I know. It's a nuisance. It's everywhere.
Plus, it's like the antagonist in American Beauty.
Yeah. If you really want to make a difference, you bring reusable bags.
Yeah.
I can see the EU doing that, because they're a little bit, authoritative like that. They'll make a decision and you have to do it because they think it's, because you're too dumb. They have to make the decision for you.
Right.
Which is probably the truth.
Let's just have everyone do the reusable bags.
It just seems to me like EU seems to hurt the little man more than the big man. Big man still gets away with bloody murder, and the little man has to comply.
Sometimes literally.
Yeah.
No country's perfect. I do think that some of the EU policies make no sense. When you read about women that are being attacked and they fight back and then they go to jail.
I know. What worries me though, if I was in the EU, I would feel like a bunch of foreigners are dictating what my country can or can't do.
With the European Union.
You lose a lot of your
laws.
national sovereignty when you sign up. They make decisions for you. They're not necessarily elected by your country in particular.
True. Which is why Brexit happened.
Yeah, but they have their own problems. Like, let's say, for example, like the EU says that you have to do something kind of controversial, like immigration or something, you have to comply. Mm-hmm. And that kind of sucks, right?
That's true. Because there's a lot of countries in the EU and they can't all agree on everything.
Okay, here's why I don't like the EU. Your national laws can get overruled by EU-wide rules. Even if your own citizens hate something, you might have to obey because some bureaucrats in Belgium or Germany said so.
Right.
Big countries bully small ones. Germany, France, and other countries dominate decisions. Smaller countries like Hungary, Poland, or Czech can get steamrolled even if they disagree.
That makes sense.
Immigration policies were forced onto a lot of EU nations during the migrant crisis, even if local citizens voted against it or even protested. Climate laws, farming laws, banking laws, stuff that used to be a national decision, now decided by foreigners who don't live in your town, don't understand your problems. And there's a democratic deficit. The EU's leadership, like the European Commission, isn't even elected directly by its people. They're appointed bureaucrats, not voted in by regular citizens.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's very un-American.
Yeah.
I would be losing my shit. Because, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
even
that's
as
not at all how we handle things.
Even as an American, I still feel like that the states need more rights.
Yeah.
I hate it I hate the federal government. I hate they can swing their big dick around and everyone's got to comply. I'm like, I want to live in a system where the states have laws. So if, let's say, if you're extreme liberal, you live in an extreme liberal state and you're happy. You're
Right.
extreme conservative, you live in an extreme conservative state and you're happy.
Yeah.
The federal government fucks off. That's perfect in my opinion. You can live where you want to be around people that you agree with.
So would you have just the federal government mostly supply the military?
I would not even have that. I'm against completely eradicating the federal government.
But what about military?
Militias.
Don't you want
State militias like they used to do.
Oh, but this is 2025. Like, don't you want like a strong, like, America, government?
Who's threatening our sovereignty in America?
Well,
I'm tired of being the world police.
yeah, but in the time of nukes, like, we have to have a strong government
In the time
so
of-
nobody will nuke us.
And the thing is, the time of nukes is you don't need a military anymore.
Well, I guess that's
Who's
true.
gonna fuck with you? As long as you keep your military technology with nukes on the same level as them, no one's gonna fuck with you.
Speaking of military, I saw where we are going to share some of our new F-35s with
Ooh,
India.
hit the rock.
Ooh, I totally did. And India was still using like Russian planes that are like super old. So we really upgraded their military intelligence.
Yeah, so now if they go to war with Pakistan, we're gonna be responsible now.
But we're also giving money to Pakistan. So that's kind of a conflict of interest.
kind of like how the Rockefellers funded both sides of the war in the Napoleon conflict. Mm-hmm. They got rich off of the war.
War can be very profitable.
Yeah, imagine if the U.S. had obeyed rules made by Canada, Mexico, and Chile.
Right?
We'd be pissed.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll give you a few examples real quick. Around 60% of all new laws passed in the German parliament are either directly or forced adaptations. In Italy, about 58 to 65% of Italy's national laws originate from EU law rules. So it's like you have no sovereignty anymore. Mm-hmm. Estimates said about 62% of UK laws were tied directly to the EU mandates before they left. So no wonder they left.
Right?
I know it's kind of controversial, but that's just my opinion. I'm entitled to it.
That's true. Because this is America.
The EU, I understand why EU exists. They had to stay relevant with America and China and everything else. They had to join somehow, but they have so many different languages, cultures. It's not like America.
Yeah.
Where in America, we pretty much have like two cultures now. We used to have like 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. A lot of Italian Americans, German Americans, British Americans. But now it's like you're either English speaking American or Spanish. That's really all it is now.
Yeah.
And most of our cultures are a lot alike. We're pretty much all Christian.
Mostly. Yep.
Mostly. And for the most part, we get along. You know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, you gonna play more?
I didn't know whether we were done or not, so I just chose a short one. It's up to you. We can play more later.
I was kind of done,
All right, that's fine.
but it was fun talking to you.
It was fun.
Sorry if I pissed anybody off. I was trying my best to be politically non-biased.
Yes.
I was just trying to understand EU as an American. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
But for y'all, I'm glad it's working for you. I love Europe. Sometimes I wish I lived there, and sometimes I'm glad I didn't live there.
There's good and bad of all countries. Yeah.
That's true. I think Europe should stay culturally significant. I think they should. I'm a pretty big conservative person. I just hope Europe stays to their traditional roots, to take care of its people, and to respect its people, and and quit trying to do this whole replacement crap.
Yeah.
There should be a culture for everyone.
That's true.
And respect your culture. It feels like
Be proud of it.
every culture is respected besides European cultures. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I'm not going to go there. But yeah, thanks for watching.